What's up, Green Knights? Welcome to a special Monday episode of SJR's Knights Connect. I'm Liam Fahey, your host, and today I'm joined by
Jack Locks.
Danny Stigliano.
Andrew Riley.
and we're here to talk about the Michigan Wolverines versus the Washington Huskies in tonight's epic college football playoff championship. Big game tonight, fellas. Let's start with talking a little bit about Washington. I know I got a fellow Washington supporter here. Andrew, let's talk about Michael Penix a little bit. Because my, oh my, what a special game he had against Texas in that semifinal round in the Sugar Bowl. Tell me a little bit what you think of Michael Penix.
Indeed, he did. I think that was his best game of his career. It really showed how much, the pressure gets to him, and he showed that he can handle that pressure. And I think this Natty game, it's no different. It's a lot more pressure, but I think he's gonna take it, and he's gonna take it well. And I think he's gonna do really well this game, and his draft stock is gonna skyrocket.
Now, my question for you two here is about that draft stock. There are a lot of people coming into the season that we don't know if Penix is going to be a drafted player. Now, we don't know if he's going to be a first rounder. Now, maybe he's going to be top 10. What do you guys think is Michael Penix draft stock? And where do you guys think he'll land? Steak, let's start with you.
Currently, before this national championship game, B4. I think Penix is anywhere from 15 in the draft to early second rounder. He is good, but if you're looking at other options, Drake May, Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, I mean, come on. Michael Penix he's good, but right now he hasn't proven himself. Winning the national championship tonight, all the way up. I think he goes past Daniels, maybe past Drake May, but, I think it all depends on tonight. Everything goes down tonight. What do you think, Jack?
I think that there's one scenario that Penix does that, and that happens, and it's if Penix throws for 6+ touchdowns. I think there is nothing that he can do realistically that will put him into that conversation of is he better than Drake May or Jaden Daniels, or even if he should be considered at that draft stock, because taking into account his injuries and his age, I don't think that he has the same image and pristine condition that Drake May, Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels have, because they are going to be prolific quarterbacks.
They're blue chip
NFL.
quarterback prospects.
Yes.
And Michael Penix has the injury history that's riding along with him. I tend to believe that he's worth around that 15 range that you mentioned. Not a lot lower, though, because I think he's one of the best throwers of the football on the planet. Honestly,
Yeah.
He looks like if Tua had an upgrade. He's
Yeah,
awesome.
absolutely.
He's awesome, but those 2 ACL tears, those 6 years in college,
Yeah.
you have to worry about his longevity, I think. And you have to think about the fact that for both Jaden Daniels and himself, they are joined by NFL receiver cores. And guys, Rome Odunze is an NFL blue chip, incredible receiver prospect that has to be respected. What's interesting to me, though, Jack, so I'm going to send this over to, when you talk about Michigan, Michigan obviously are a great system. They have a great turnaround. They're big on their running game. They have a strong defense. But it doesn't feel like they have a star prospect that is going to be a locked-in blue chip, high-level first-rounder, which is surprising for a team that's been as dominant as they are. Jack, why do you think that is, and do you think that J.J. McCarthy has a chance to be that guy?
I personally don't think that they have the star player, and I think it's for a reason. I think it's because their team is built to win the national championship. If you're going to win the national championship, you need a cohesive unit that's going to constantly play these games and just outplay the other team, even with the other team's outliers. You can play North Carolina as long as you limit Drake May. And this team, if they limit Michael Penix, the Washington game is going to fall apart. I love how Jim Harbaugh takes apart these big powerhouses like Alabama, as we saw in the Rose Bowl. Everybody was high on Jalen Milroe, especially after that 4th and 31 throw against Auburn.
Right.
But he absolutely took apart Jalen Milroe's game with that defense. the O-line for Alabama just collapsed. They
Yeah.
were picking them apart slow, but piece
With
by piece.
blue chip O-line prospect J.C. Latham on
Piece-
playing right tackle too.
Piece by
He's
piece.
the guy who got slaughtered for that last play.
They wear them down. The only player that I think that is up to that par of high blue chip player on Michigan is Blake Corum. I think Blake Corum is, while he receives the most hype out of any running back in this class, I think he deserves.
Shout out Audric Estime, by the way. St. Joe's
Yes,
alum.
Audric Estime, most underrated player in the
Best
draft,
running back
in our opinion.
In college
In our
football.
humble
Yeah.
opinion, yes. Blake Corum, though, he took Alabama apart. He the same thing that goes for Michigan as a whole. He grinds out these teams. In the fourth quarter,
Yeah.
even in overtime, he was just running the ball.
His
He-
usage on the ground is excellent, but on through the air is where
Yeah.
though he's used less than Donovan Edwards, who's the other NFL level receiver prospect who's playing with him.
Yeah.
I think that Blake Corum still has that ceiling in the NFL where you can be a really really solid. I mean, he's not a Bijan, he's not even a Jahmyr Gibbs, but he's for damn sure is a Zach Charbonnet. He could be a Devon Achane. Obviously, their styles of play are different. I'm just talking about in terms of the effect they can have on a team.
RB2. Yeah.
RB, solid RB2, solid role player. My question for you, Stiggs, is Jim Harbaugh. In my opinion, as a Charger fan, if Jim Harbaugh wins the national championship, he's gone tomorrow, and next week is an LA Charger. He's the coach of the LA Chargers. There's a lot of sources that say he badly wants to come. There's a lot of sources that say he's intent on returning to the NFL. My question to you, Stiggs, is one: do you think he's coming back to the NFL? And two, do you think it's to my LA Chargers?
Absolutely. He's coming back to the NFL, no doubt. I don't think win or loss, he made it to the national championship. He's done everything besides, obviously, if you lose, he's done everything besides win. But if he wins, guaranteed, you lose.
It sounds familiar for the Chargers.
I think he's coming in because he's done it before with the 49ers. He brought them to a Super Bowl, almost won it. Controversial at the end. But I think that he's been wanting to come back ever since then. And with Michigan, he's had a good run. Made it to the national championship. They've been trying for years. Two years in a row they haven't been making it. This year he makes it. Even talks about years in the past that he was going to come. He didn't come because he wanted to get to this game. He's in the game. After tonight, he's gone. He's in the NFL regardless of what happens tonight. Tonight is win or lose. It's all right. I'm going to the NFL. I'm going to try to win.
Knock on wood.
The other question, the Chargers. Not entirely sure. He could come to the Chargers, but there's also teams, the Commanders, there's the Panthers, there's so many other teams.
The Falcons, who
Falcons.
just fired Arthur Smith yesterday.
Teams
Thank God.
that do not have a coach right now that could really use him. So the Chargers, yes, I think they have just as good as a shot, probably the top shot, just because of they are a built team.
And they have the
They are
quarterback.
ready to go. So I think absolutely Chargers top contender. Not entirely sure if he's gonna go there. If I'm Jim Harbaugh, I'm going to LA.
And he's been clear before about loving Justin Herbert, and of that 2020 draft class. I think it was on McAfee's show where he said that he had a conversation with Harbaugh that went something like, he and I were at a wedding and we were speaking, and I'll tell you what, of that 2020 draft class, which I'll remind you was Joe Burrow, Hurts, Tua, Herbert, and Love. His favorite was Justin Herbert. So it seems to me like a match made in heaven, and I'm praying that it happens because if nothing else, he turns around teams quickly. He did it at San Fran. He did it at Stanford. He's done it at Michigan, and hopefully he's going to do it in LA. So what I want to end the show with today is just who you got. Andrew, who you got winning tonight?
Give me UW. Give me the Washington Huskies.
I am an Ohio State fan, so I don't take this personally. But
Dangerous. That's dangerous. That's going to get messed
Washington
up.
will not win tonight if everything goes right for Michigan. Corum does good, probably will. JJ McCarthy's steady with passing game, not making dumb decisions. Michigan tonight will win. Go Huskies, but Michigan will win.
I have also got UW. I've got Washington. I think Michael Penix is going to have a star performance. I think Michael Penix is going to be drafted at number 8 to the Atlanta Falcons. I think that I think that Eric Bieniemy is going to coach the Atlanta Falcons. I think they're going to be an electric offensive unit. I can't wait. I own Bijan Robinson in Dynasty Fantasy Football, so I'm very excited for what that will end up looking like. And I think tonight is the start of something special. I think that Roma Dunze is going to have a big game against, obviously, a stout Michigan defense, but I don't know if there's a player on that Michigan defense who matches the one-to-one quality of Roma Dunze, and I think one-to-one quality is what's gonna win out tonight. Jack, who you got?
I got Michigan, and it's gonna come from a simple answer. I think there's always a conversation about if a QB is a system QB or not. In my opinion, I think that JJ McCarthy is a system QB. That's the way that Jim Harbaugh builds around this team. I think that when system QBs play bad defenses, they go crazy.
Yeah.
We've seen Brock Purdy in the NFL put up some crazy numbers just because he's a system QB and he's working with the pieces that he has. JJ McCarthy, he's gonna absolutely eviscerate this Washington defense. Every game that they play, it's always a shootout. And I think that the Michigan defense is going to have enough of that grit to stop Washington this time. And I think Michigan's going to come out on top.
Perfect even split. That's awesome, guys. And I think if McCarthy does what you're talking about, we should keep an eye on him as a number 1 overall draft pick. Next year, I don't think he's coming out of school.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us today, and I hope that you enjoyed our show and you'll tune in for later on this week when we have more NFL action coming. Thank you again for watching Knights Connect. I'm Liam Fahey.
I'm Jack Locks.
Dennis Stigliano.
I'm Andrew Riley.
I hope you have a good day. Goodbye.